Hi, my name is Umberto Mucci. This is We the ItaliaNews, a podcast about Italy during coronavirus times. Today is Monday, February 8, 2021. The data updated last night say that in Italy we have administered the first dose of the vaccine to 2,546,000 people, 4.19% of the population. 1,123,000 of Italians have received the second dose too. The ranking of the regions by percentage of vaccinations made compared to the doses delivered say that in the first three places from the top are Valle d'Aosta, Campania and Piedmont. In the last three places from the bottom are Liguria, Calabria and Basilicata. At the moment, Italy is in 7th place in the world for the number of people vaccinated. In the EU, we are second after Germany in absolute and second after Spain with respect to the percentage of population vaccinated. As every Monday, just a few numbers about the situation of the contagion in Italy. Over the past 7 days, we averaged 11,903 new positives per day, or minus 468 cases per day compared with the previous 7 days, a percentage change of minus 3.8%. In the same period, the average change in the number of patients admitted to the COVID wards was minus 3.4%. With regard to intensive care units, instead, in the last 7 days, the average change in the admission-exit balances was plus 2.9%. On average, we had 389 deaths per day in Italy in the last 7 days, while it was 445 per day in the previous 7 days, with a variation of minus 12.6%. As we always say, the minuses are good news because they show a trend that goes in the right direction. The autonomous province of Bolzano in Italy's northern region of Alto Adige is back into a strict lockdown. And it is very strange that the English variant of the virus has been found among the inhabitants of some villages in those beautiful valleys of South Tyrol, where people have always lived apart because there is so much space and very few inhabitants. This lockdown is even tighter than being in red zone. Then there are some lockdowns located in some cities of central Italy where cases of the English variant and also of the Brazilian one have been found, some small towns in Marche, Umbria, Abruzzo and Molise. In general, only Apulia, Sicily and Umbria are in orange zone, all the others are in yellow, the one with lighter restrictions. The national R rate, or reproduction rate, is stable at 0.84, the same of last week. Yesterday, in the magnificent Cortina d'Ampezzo in the Veneto region, the inaugural ceremony of the World Ski Championships was held. The opening ceremony saw a show made between the Arena of Verona, the fantastic mountains of Dolomites called Guglie di Pietra, and the magic of Venice. The competition will begin today and end on February 21. It was decided to organize the event despite the COVID, but obviously there will be no public to cheer for the athletes. The last World Ski Championships held in Italy were in 2005 in Bormio in Lombardy. Cortina will also host, along with Milan, the 2026 Winter Olympics. The new Museum of Italian Immigration was officially presented in Genoa in Liguria. According to the director Piero Campodonico, it will be above all a place of memory, inclusion and democracy. The end of the works is foreseen in the first months of 2022, but they will be minimal and respectful of the history of the building that will host the museum. The Commenda di Pre, in the historical center of Genoa, built in 1180 near the sea. It is the place from which millions of pilgrims departed from the Holy Land, for the Holy Land. The museum will be developed on 3 floors and will tell the stories of those who left, the motivations that led them to do so, the symbols of the trip. The goal is to put the visitor in the shoes of the emigrant who undertakes this journey. The exhibition will be enriched by autobiographies, diaries, letters, photographs, newspapers, songs and music that accompanied the emigrants. The different stations that make up the itinerary will be able to speak in a different way depending on the visitor who approaches, thanks to a registration mechanism at the entrance that will allow to calibrate languages, stories and documents according to the specific person who is making the journey. We the Italians is planning on work together with this new wonderful museum, thanks to our brand new representative in Genoa, Lorenzo Zeppa. Let me remember you that Genoa was the city where Christopher Columbus was born. The Italian Association of Medical Oncology says that around 3.6 million people are alive in Italy today having been diagnosed with some form of tumor, an increase of 37% on the number of cancer survivors the nation had 10 years ago. But the association also raised the alarm about the impact of COVID-19 pandemic on the fight against cancer. It said more than 2 million fewer screening tests were done in Italy in the first 9 months of 2020. An update on the government crisis. Today, the Prime Minister in charge, Mario Draghi, will begin a brief second round of consultations of the parliamentary groups, which will conclude tomorrow. Then he will go to President of the Republic Mattarella with a list of ministers he would like to appoint in his government. The Constitution says that the President of the Republic appoints the Prime Minister and, on the proposal of the latter, the ministers. But it is clear that usually the list of ministers comes from excruciating negotiations with the parties and then will vote confidence to the government in the parliament. This time it could be a little bit different in the sense that this time Draghi, after listening to the parties, could decide on his own and propose a list of personalities he trusts, counting on the fact that almost all the parties present in the parliament have said they want to support his government of national emergency, although there are many problems of compatibility between some of them. Draghi will probably try to avoid ministers who may not be liked by some of these parties, but since among those who have said they want to support Draghi there are some completely opposite from each other, which so far have always been harshly one against the other, it is likely that Draghi will decide to appoint almost all technical ministers, at least in the most important and delicate ministries. The government should be sworn in on Thursday, February 11, or maybe even Wednesday, February 10, and have the confidence in Parliament on Friday, February 12, or Monday, February 15 at the latest, because already on that day decisions need to be taken on new anti-COVID measures. It's all for now, it's all for today. I'll see you next Wednesday. My name is Umberto Mucci. Please stay safe. This was We the ItaliaNews. Ciao from Rome.